The Add Event button is found inside the Event section inside a client file. You can use it to move the client to a different event status, or you can add additional events to their client file. And so the way you use it, you just click on Add right here. This is going to pull up a menu where you can choose a different status to move the client to. You see that this list here is going to match with the events on our homepage for our tax preparation business type. And it's probably going to look different for you and your software because our demo software matches with what our tax office is currently doing. So it's unique to each tax office. And so you can choose a different event to move the client to. So say that I'm going to move them to Print Now Waiting. It selects the event. The Close Last Open event, when this is checked, it's going to close our old event, which is Tax Prep Office. And for tax preparation, we do want that turned on, so because we only want the client in one event status at a time. If we had any checklists that were on for this event, we could turn them off with this Disable Checklist button right here. The account user is the person that's doing the tax return, and this pulls from whoever the account user is set up in the account info section. The event user is the person that is creating the event or the one that is working it. Predefined note, so we can use this drop down menu here to have a predefined note display once we select it. And you see that when we do that, it fills in the date, time, and the user that is making this note, as well as what our note actually is. We could also click this clock here to timestamp it and then type up a new note. The send predefined right here, this is a way that we can send a notification to the client once we add this event. Or if we did have any sort of automated notifications that were set up for this event, we could disable them with this checkbox right here. Assign to is a way that we can assign this event status to a particular user. We just click on their name, and then this will then appear inside their assigned task list. And to leave it unassigned, we just make sure that this blank area at the top is chosen. And to assign this to multiple users, we want to click on one of them and then hold the Control key on our keyboard to select other users to assign this to. And then Keep Assigned is a checkbox that will make it so even if this event is closed out, this event will still show up in these users' assigned task list. Assign date is the date that this event will be assigned. If we want this to show up in our users' assigned task list on a particular day, we just can click on our calendar and then choose what day that we want that to show up in their assigned task list. And if we click this arrow, this will then add it to the due date as well, or we could, for our due date, click the calendar and then give this a different due date. We could have this assigned out a month later or whatnot. So just whatever day that we choose on our calendar. Our start date is the date that the event starts. And the way that this works is that usually it will default to the day that you are creating the event status. But if we want this to start on a different date, we can just click on our calendar and then select a different date for this event to start for this client. And what this will do then is this client will not appear in this event status on our homepage until it is the day that we set our start date to. So in this case, this client will not show up on our homepage for this event status until May 3rd. And then the end date, we could add it here if we wanted to, but usually you will leave this blank as it will get filled in whenever you move the client to a different event status or if you decide to manually close out the event. Then at the bottom, we have the priority drop-down menu, and you can use this to assign a priority to this particular event status. And then once you are happy with how your event is set up, you can click Save Close, and this will then add our event and close out the menu. And since this event had some checklists, it's going to default to this checklist page, which we can then just go back and then see our event status right here. And then you can see that since I set it up as urgent, it flashes up on our screen. That would obviously change if we had a different priority level set. And to kind of wrap up this section here, clear, this will then clear whatever we have set up in for some of these settings here. We just click clear and it will then clear it all out. And then add additional events. This will make it so we can add a new event, and then Once we do that, we can click on our add additional events. This will then add the event and then reopen this menu to where then we can add another event. So you probably won't ever use this for tax preparation, but for any sort of business type that you want to add multiple open events to, then you might want to use this. So that is it for this video. Thank you for watching.